please put your hands together and welcome Jules Johnson to the stage.
Well, hello. Oh my goodness. I'm seeing all my cruising buddies. I normally do cruises. And so how apropos to be on the Queen Mary, right? Except that there's no waves, so it's smooth sailing the entire weekend, which is delightful. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to be talking this weekend all about the law of attraction, success, and how you can achieve what it is that you're looking for. And this is my favorite subject. I've kind of been in it for 8 years. Fortunately for me, I've been able to talk to all of the experts in the law of attraction field. So it's like I am this student of life and student of law of attraction. I can't call myself a guru, but I sure do love it. I love everything about the law of attraction. It's true, it's real, it's authentic, and we're going to show you why that is, especially this weekend, because science is proving that the law of attraction is real. So much fun. And as always, you know, the law of attraction 8 years ago is totally different than it is today, because we are completely expanding what we thought of the simpleness of the law of attraction is now this huge thing that keeps on growing, and it's so exciting. It's so exciting to even be bringing this to you. So as you'll see on the screen, there is the definition of the law of attraction per quantum physics. And as you will notice, I'm so glad that wasn't my phone. It usually is. But as you'll notice, we're talking about science, and science really doesn't use the term law of attraction. And that's okay, because I consider everything that science talks about is the law of attraction. There is no difference. So as you will see here, this is the definition. The law of attraction is easily understood, teaching how consciousness works in the physical world. The principle is what you give your conscious attention to expands. It explains how your life experience is the direct result of what you have attracted to you through your thinking, whether you wanted it or not. And it's the not part that really gets us. We love to get what it is that we think that we have manifested, but we're going to expand on that just a little bit. This is so much fun. Usually I don't get to see my audience, and it's like, okay, new territory. I'm behind a microphone, so I don't see anybody, but now I'm seeing all these beautiful faces out here, and it's like, oh, okay. This is something beyond what I'm used to. There is scientific proof. Quantum physicist and founder of quantum physics, Max Planck, stated all matter originates and exists by virtue of the force. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intellectual mind. The mind is the matrix of all matter. That pretty much says it all. The mind and consciousness, to me, are one. Reality is defined by the mind that is observing it. Nobel Prize winner and nuclear physicist Werner Heisenberg proved that by simply observing something, thinking about it, you affect the outcome. Now, Saturday afternoon, Dr. Jim Alvino is going to be talking about the law of observation, and it's fascinating, but I just kind of want to touch on it here because it plays such a big role in the law of attraction. Scientists know that when they observe an experiment, they can influence the outcome. Well, that's really powerful. That's why through the double slit experiment, and the reason why they came up with the double-blind study is that they don't want the scientist actually influencing the results. So what you observe, you have power over. That's how you create. And again, Dr. Alvino is going to be diving into that more, but it's just really, really fascinating, and it plays into exactly where I want to go. The truth is, everything is energy, and everything has an energy wave. Your mind, your emotions, the good, bad, and the ugly all have an energy pattern. Everything, this podium has an energy wave. Everything around you. You are one big energy wave. Here's a good looking picture of Einstein. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. And this guy, who I absolutely adore, Tesla, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, doesn't this sound like the law of attraction? It's because it is. They just don't use the same words. We are the imagination of ourselves. Pretty powerful words. As you can see, what is real? It's only what you perceive in your mind. This is really powerful. Before I showed you a clip of Foster Gamble, who's been on my show a number of times. He's absolutely brilliant, and you can find out more about the science if you go to thrivemovement.com. You can see the brilliant movie that he put together about science. He started the think tank called Sequoia Symposium back in the 90s, and he's absolutely brilliant. Another person that I had in there was Greg Braden. And I just discovered I'm missing a slide here, so I'm going to talk about what Greg Braden has said a number of other times. You can tell, if you were to measure love and fear, and it was on a scale, and say that there was a graph with the line right in the middle, the love would measure out like this. And fear would measure out like this. That's because the love is the creative force of the universe. That's what made everything. That's what consciousness is, be it that which you call God or Allah or the Big Kahuna or Krishna. That is the graph of love, and that's very important. So when you come down to the fear, it's these little bits of sharp spikes, which indicates that everything constricts with fear. You know, the human body was only meant to experience moments of fear. And today, the majority of us, by listening to the news, are experiencing a tremendous amount of fear on a daily level, and it is not healthy for us. But if you can go into that consciousness, you will feel yourself expand, and that's what created the universe. And I think that is a very, very important point of where you need to be. Every single day, you need to focus in on the expansion of love, and that's how you're basically going to bring success to you. Now, based on what we have learned about quantum physics, we know that we're all energy. We know that infinite intelligence, consciousness, is what is really created us and created all that is. We know that we are the co-creators of our reality / hologram, in that our needs and desires and emotions influences our hologram and what we perceive to be real. We know that that which we observe we can influence or is our own creation through our perception. We know that we must be at that vibrational frequency to attract that which we want in our life. So we all know this. Then what's the problem? How come, when life is illusion, how come we can't create what it is that we want? Has anybody ever thought about that? Is that, can everybody create what they want? I don't know. I've been studying it for all these years and I'm still not at that point yet, but I'm hoping to get there. But here's what's stopping me. Maybe it's going to be the ticket for you. Our beliefs, specifically our limiting beliefs, is the key to what's stopping us from having that consciousness put everything, and consciousness does, put everything in our hologram that we could possibly ever want. But it's our limiting beliefs that come up and tell us, well, wait a minute, this isn't right, this can't be true. We are stopping that which we really want to come into our lives. You are living in your hologram that is based on your own belief system. Because emotions, beliefs are energy waves, they can be collapsed from your hologram. Now, people always say, well, what's a limiting belief? I don't know what my limiting beliefs are. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do, because every time you have a limiting belief, you feel it. It comes up into that most uncomfortable feeling. It grabs you by the stomach. It's saying, oh my God, I can't do this, or I'm not worthy of this, or oh, forget, I just can't do it. It comes up. When you can't pay that bill and you have a $2,500 car bill, guess what happens? There is this gut-wrenching feeling is, I don't have enough in my bank account. It comes up. And what is the first thing that we normally do with this limiting belief? Well, typically for me, I've done this so many times, I will go off and vent. I will do anything I can to get away from this feeling. That's human nature. But here's the trick of it all. If you really want to collapse that energy wave, you can't run away from it, you can't diffuse it, you have got to feel it. You've got to dive into that emotion. You've got to feel it with everything you can. And then you've got to say, this is not true. Based on what everything science is telling us, this is not true. This is not reality. Do you know, in the quantum physics world, there's not such a thing known as a bank account? There's no numbers. It's all an illusion. You are getting upset with that gut-wrenching feeling when it doesn't exist. It is simply a limiting belief. So once you feel it, then you can start talking yourself out of it. And the first couple of times, you're just going to think like you're talking air. That's okay. Keep on going. Because some of these belief systems and limiting beliefs are so deep, it will take you a couple of times really to get it going. But you start talking to yourself and you say, this is not true. This is not real. I know that the consciousness of all love that is so expansive has so much abundance. It is unlimited there. Therefore, I am abundant. What I am seeing, what I am perceiving is just not true. My consciousness put that into my hologram so that I am finally coming to grips with my limiting beliefs. When you do that, and you say, I now reclaim my power over this, because it is an illusion, all of a sudden, everything stops. You're feeling calmer. And that illusion is back with your power. You're feeling better. What's really amazing is that when you do this, that day or in a couple of days, miracles will start happening, because that limiting belief is now allowing room for the good of all that is to start flowing to you. You have to create a void, and so that other good can flow to you. And it's truly, truly amazing, the things that happen. And here all my life, I've been sitting there doing everything I could to stop feeling that terrible, uncomfortable feeling, when all I had to do, just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, all I had to do was just say the magic words. I reclaim my power over this because this is not true. Science has just told you this to be real. So it's up to you. Now, some people cannot grasp this theory right now, and that's okay. Maybe at a later date you will. But for those who can grasp it right now, you are light years ahead of others, because this truly does work. It's amazing, and it's what science has shown us to be true. I think I probably talked over it. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that's it. I do want to tell you that I made an MP3 hypnosis, because I'm a hypnotherapist by trade. And I did make an MP3 that helps you to dive into your uncomfortable feelings. And it helps you go at it at a much faster pace. So I'm just letting you know that I do have an instant download, and it's there at my table, and you can, I've tested it. I've had a couple other people test it, and it just makes the difference of making you go through those uncomfortable feelings and then release them so that you can move forward. And that is my presentation. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this.